Good morning, bows and bow ties. I am not on camera because I just didn't feel like being on camera, but I'm going to come on for 2 seconds. Look, look, my sister cut my hair down. Arrow. It is so bouncy and everything. She cut some much needed inches off. But I'm going to come off camera so I don't have the car light on in the car and I can just drive. So you're going to see my little, like, avatar picture. Okay. So I had a good Thanksgiving. And I had some time. I was gonna come on live and I decided not to. I decided to just really enjoy the weekend. But of course, I had to get my hee-haws and some of the shenanigans that was happening, right? And so once again there was conversation centered around Drake and his lawsuit or potential lawsuit or whatever it is against the UMG, which is Universal Music Group, right? That's the record company, I guess, that he is accusing of, I guess, overly promoting Kendrick Lamar's songs, Not Like Us, or that at least that one in particular, right? Because that song, I think, was like the ultimate salvo, the ultimate bullet that like really just took him out, right? Because there were all the other songs leading up to it, right? And they were exploring back and forth. And I really feel like Kendrick Lamar ultimately was just coming out on top. But I didn't really care that much. This song, They Not Like Us, was basically a universal pop and had everyone, all kinds of cultures singing to this song. You had so many memes, so many people making songs, so many people enjoying the song. Also, not that this is Kendrick Lamar, but when was it who was it, Mustard or whatever, came out with BBL Drizzy, that was another one, right? So that tag team really just took Drake out. Now, what this reminds me of is when Denzel Washington, there's a clip out there from I don't know how many years ago, and someone had asked him about filming. I forgot. Wait, did I just put on? Oh, okay. I was like, I didn't put on cruise control. Someone asked him about filming. I don't remember what movie it was, but he basically said, and I might be butchering the quote. He said, you can have Martin Scorsese film Schindler's List, and you can have, I forgot who else, film, was it Goodfellas or whatever it is? He said, but if you're, there's a difference between when Martin tries to direct and film Schindler's List versus, I'm having a brain dump, versus the guy who did it, right? Because that guy was from the culture. He said, the difference is culture because he's like, I can do certain things, but there's it's different when you have someone from the culture trying to direct something or film something or whatever, right? And that sentiment, I think, still resonates, right? And basically where I'm going with that is Drake is this guy from Canada who is not really familiar with Black American culture. He has proximity, I guess, being from Canada, bordering the United States, but he grew up as a biracial man from Canada. And oftentimes people from Canada like to separate themselves, and I get it, there's a large Caribbean influence there as well. And don't even get me started on that. There's so much I can say about that. But ultimately, they like to separate themselves from Black people, but they also like to enjoy the spoils of having that proximity to Black culture. And so, what this reminds me of is in Kendrick Lamar's songs, when he's talking about I am what the culture's thinking, or something along those effects, or that effect. You know, I get it. And so now you've got Aubrey, aka Drake, wanting to sue the music company for allegedly pushing certain music out there. Instead of just taking that out, right? Because the more he's fighting it, the more people are going to see him as the little B word. And I think what he is not understanding is there was a lot of cosplay he was doing, right? He wanted to come off as this guy that was really part of the culture. He was this rapper, stuff like that. When it all came out that he has much of his music ghostwritten, allegedly. Everything's all alleged. And so when you have someone who's dealing with that, he's running into all of these urban areas, syncing up with all of these producers and artists or whatever. Basically, they call him a colonizer. I understand the sentiment. And it's not that people don't want other people, like, it's not like Black Americans don't want people to appreciate Black culture or hip hop culture. But I also think that because there was no gatekeeping, they allowed for someone to appropriate their culture so long. He made more money off of the culture than the regular Black folk, and then tried to denigrate the people and some of the things that he says and all this stuff like that. And then when the people decided to stand and say, no, 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 I don't think you understand. Now there's a lot of whining and crying. Now he wants to bring in the law. And so what this does is further say this is not what the culture is. Because, in the day, if you engage in any sort of rap battle or anything like that, then that was it. It stayed there. Generally, it stayed there, right? But I think he's missing the mark. I don't think he understands just how much of the culture he was not part of. He was he was cosplaying the culture, right? And so there's a lot of parts of the culture I don't particularly care for. I'm just going to be honest. But nevertheless, that's what he did. And so now that people, like, the gig is up, the time is up. He wants to um, engage in the laws, and that in itself, I'm like, okay, so he clearly does not get it. And so this would be like a cautionary tale for those who want to start gatekeeping Black culture, like Black music or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I think music is for the world, but I think this is a cautionary tale on how many people, like, granted, I know that he was pushed by the industry, but a lot of people will allow for others to come and take what they have created. I mean, look what happened to country music. Country music is no longer Black, I guess. Now, I don't have an issue with people enjoying country music, but the fact of the matter is now, if you decide you want to make music in that genre and you don't look white, they're upset. The interesting thing about that is, now, and I don't really care for Beyonce's country song. I'm sorry, this is a sidebar. But it's so funny how, like, when someone makes music in that genre, people will get mad as if, well, first of all, the people who typically listen to that don't look like me. Um, they'll get upset if somebody else is trying to make music in that genre as if they created it, right? They will do that, but they will not recognize you. Now, I didn't think that Beyonce's song was particularly great in country music, but whatever. Whereas in hip hop, rap, etc., if someone else comes in the culture that doesn't look like them, makes a little hit or something like that, we're ready to give them a whole bunch of awards. I look at Tyler the Water Girl, right? Remember Iggy Azalea? Eminem was a good rapper. Of course, Drake. Look at Bruno Mars. Even some of his language. If you listen to his the one song, I think it just, I don't know, I'm just turned off by it, right? And we want to give them all these awards stuff. Do you remember that time there was a tribute to Motown and they even let J Lo participate in this tribute to Motown? And we know she cannot sing. Her only job is just to look pretty. That's it. So what happens is we'll give people the keys to the kingdom, and then when we want to engage outside of the so-called culture, even though we were the creators of country music, they get upset. So I think there should be a cautionary tale for those of you who didn't get it the first time. This is what happens when people are allowed to appropriate the culture, and they get all the accolades and the financial backing, etc. Maybe they have the right shade. I don't know, right? And then when we have these moments when we constantly have to re-bump our head. You fall and bump your head, fall, you bump your head again, and knocks some sense into you. They're like, oh no, everyone wants to be up in arms. Anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest about the whole Drake saga. This is turning into a spectacle unto itself. He looks really silly. Now I want to move on to these angry dudes. Um, so recently there have been some videos or clips or whatever, or there was talking about there are women who are making millions of dollars on OnlyFans, and you have a bunch of men who are losing it over it. They're angry. Black men, white men. I'm just picking on the black men just because I can. I love them, but I have a bone to pick with them at the same time. There are people in general, I think, men who are losing their minds over these OnlyFans women making a lot of money. And I'm like, and they typically belong in that red pill community. For those of you who don't know what that is, and I'm probably going to butcher it, but it's a bunch of men who are whacked out weirdos who basically believe that women are not feminine. They hate feminism. Um, it's basically they want women to be traditional, and it's just like a whole bunch of stuff, right? They don't they think that most women are just whores and all these other things. It's just, oh my goodness, it's just a bunch of shenanigans. The interesting thing about these red pill guys, which is why I do not let that stuff infiltrate my channel, is much of what they have such disdain for is the very thing that they're seeking. They want those particular women. Okay, so they want those women, and they're angry because some of them can't get them, or when they do get them, it's like they want to say, "See, I told you, this is what women are." It's really bizarre. It's just such a bizarre situation. Anyway, so that's what's going on with that now. So you got a bunch of men who are upset over OnlyFans women making millions of dollars. I think one girl reported 46 million, and I don't remember. But I'm like, you cannot get mad at these women for making this kind of money, um, until you stop patronizing them. It's the men who are giving them this money. You're mad at them for making money. You are mad at these women for using their age-old, timeless um, tool in their gift chest, right? In their chest box, pun intended. All those things, and you know what I mean. And I'm not saying I agree with the lifestyle. What I am saying is these women are only doing what the men allow them to do, meaning they can't make all this money if these men are not patronizing them. It's like the very men that are complaining about these women are the ones who are patronizing these women. They're going into their spaces, like they hate these women so much, and they hate that they want these women. So now they're upset that women are like, you know what I'm going to do? You objectify me so much, and this, that, and the other. I'm going to make money off you, loser. So now they're mad that these women are making millions of dollars. Let that one sink in. I'm like, you're the ones who are throwing the money at them. You're throwing the money at these women. I said what I said. So I'm at the point where I'm like, maybe you should just be mad with yourself. But many of these men are not necessarily accountable men, right? There are excuses for everything, for their frailties, their failures. I don't know what more that can be said other than maybe they need to get on somebody's couch and figure it out. But I just thought it was interesting that you have a whole bunch of men who are complaining about these women making all this money, but they're the ones who are patronizing these women. And now what they have single-handedly done is made sure that these women never have to depend on anybody. If what they're reporting is true, by the way. These women are now independent. They have used whatever it was that God gave them to elevate their status in life, I guess. I don't know. But I'm not sure why. Sorry for yawning. I'm not so sure why these people are so angry about OnlyFans women making millions of dollars. These men are so angry at them. I'm like, then why are you continuing to give them your money? You are giving them the millions of dollars, the very thing that is driving you psycho. These women would not be able to make, like the one lady who said she made $46 million, if you weren't patronizing them. And maybe the issue you have is not so much of them. Maybe the issue you have is with yourself, the lack of self control. You cannot really dominate these women. You can't own these women. They have you coming back into their space. All right, so that's pretty much all I have. I should come on camera for 2 seconds just to say goodbye, and I think maybe I will do that. Maybe turn the light on in the car so you can see me. All right. Look at my hair. Ew, I love how like light and fluffy it is. Anyway, so look, I'm the Black opinionated woman, also known as Bo. Hopefully you'll support this channel. If you don't, well, you don't. I don't eat off of this channel. This channel is not monetized. Maybe it'll get monetized one day if I get enough people to pay attention. I don't dedicate enough cycles to the channel to I guess what I'm saying is my focus is not typically on everything pop news related, which is why my channel is the channel that it is. It's based off of my opinions and thoughts, and it doesn't mean that I won't ever try to grow it, but I don't like talking about the same kind of topic every single day, which is how you would typically grow your channel because you create this niche, right? I don't want to sit here and bash men and women all day. I don't want to talk about those kinds of things, right? Like the fact that we have channels with people who look like me and all they want to do is either talk about like colorism, beauty, or this gender war, it drives me crazy. And this is the reason why we're stuck in the situation that we're in. So, anyway, like the channel because I'm amazing in every way you can do no wrong. Um, and then go ahead and subscribe. Send it to all your friends. This is how you can help push me in the algorithm. All right. Oh, look at my hair. Isn't that cute? Ew. All right. Bye.